Hi, and welcome to Season 7 of the Northern Power Futures podcast with United Utilities. This is the podcast where you can submit your questions about your education and early career, and where you can get fantastic advice from top professionals from all over the UK. In this season, we're looking at some of your issues around working and learning, as well as your concerns about how to stay connected in other ways in these ever-changing times. For episode 2, we're diving into your questions about self-care and personal development. Let's get into it.
How do I firm up my work-life boundaries when I find myself not being able to switch off like I could when I used to physically leave the office?
Kate Curry, Edgehill University. I think it's quite difficult to switch off at the end of the day when you're working from home. Some tips would be, if you're working in a separate room in the house, to shut that door behind you at whatever time you're finishing work and don't open it again until the morning. Or if it's, a separate area of a room that you work in, clear everything away. It might, take you 10 minutes to clear it all out of sight, but it's out of sight, out of mind, and your evening will be the better for it. Try and go for a walk when you finish working for the day as well. You'd normally have a commute anyway, so, just spending 20 minutes or so having a walk and some fresh air. When you walk back into the house, you feel like a new person.
My job had great work perks, like an on-site bar and free fitness classes. But now that these can't happen due to lockdown, I feel less enthused by my actual work. What can I do to stay motivated?
Kath Connell, Welsh Marketing Coordinator at Edgehill University. I think it's great that you get so many good perks with your job. If you're not doing already, get online and have a look for some free fitness classes, but pop them into your calendar when you would normally have done them at work. So whether it be before work, after work, at lunchtime, and make sure that you do it as a routine, and that'll give you something to focus on. If you used to enjoy the site bar with colleagues, why not do it on Zoom on a Friday or once a month and get other people involved as well? You'll probably find that other people are feeling less enthused at this moment as well. It's difficult for everybody, so don't beat yourself up too much, and good luck.
I've been sitting at the kitchen table on a kitchen chair to work for the last 8 months, and my back is really starting to hurt me. Is it unreasonable to ask my work to buy me an office chair or to borrow one from the office? I can't afford a decent one.
My name's Sue Holden and I'm Head of Business Management at Knowsley Council. Like many of us back in March, I left the office with my laptop under my arm, naively thinking I would be back in the office in a couple of weeks. Sitting at my makeshift desk in the kitchen, I quickly realised I would need a better chair, so I arranged with my employer to borrow one of the many chairs that were lying idle in the office. So certainly ask your employer if you can borrow a chair, or if they'll buy one for you. They might also support you to carry out an online workstation assessment, so it's worth asking. There's a few things you could try yourself too. Check your screen is at eye level. I've propped mine on my laptop on a couple of cookery books, and stretching and some back exercises and neck exercises are good too.
I had so many plans and goals for 2020. I was only able to achieve a few of them. I can't help thinking I should have pushed myself to achieve them during lockdown.
Hello, my name's Stephen and I'm a Responsible Transformation Manager within Lloyds Banking Group. I think reflecting on 2020, any achievements should be celebrated, especially in what's a very challenging year. But in terms of thinking whether you should have pushed yourself to achieve more during lockdown, I think if you change should to could, it becomes a much clearer question to answer. So could I have pushed myself to achieve more during lockdown? And the answer to that could be no, and that is fine, but it will give you a sense of peace at what it is that you have done. And if the answer is yes, you could have, it also helps you plan on where it is that you could have done more to achieve your goals. But by changing that word from should to could, hopefully that will create a clearer question and give you more realistic outcomes and reflections on what it is that you're doing.
Despite lockdown, some of my friends are going through some big life changes. How can I show me support while staying safe?
Gwen Forkin, Knowsley Council. Lockdown has been tough for most of us, but for anyone who has other things going on, it's even harder. We've all been in the same storm, but we're absolutely not in the same boat. What we're missing most is human connection, but we're lucky enough that technology provides us with new ways to connect. Anyone who is struggling just wants to know that you are thinking of them. They want to be acknowledged, listened to, empathised with. Sending cards, video messages, or even short texts to let people know that you're still there. You don't even need to worry about what to write, as a heart emoticon or something similar is often enough to raise a smile and let someone know they're not forgotten. Be sure to let your loved ones know you're still there for whatever they need by making sure they know that they don't need to use what little energy they have to reply to your messages. If you can do practical things safely, think about leaving a fully prepared meal on their doorstep or offering to do their shopping or pick up medicines. When people are going through a hard time, being specific about how you can support them makes it more likely they will take up your offer.
I've seen a few working from home internships on LinkedIn. Some of my friends got jobs at workplaces they interned at. This would be my main reason for interning. Is there still a chance of being hired if I'm interning from home?
Sarah Drury, Caldrew Construction Company Director. Many companies, due to current situation with COVID, have developed their internships from home working. This offers flexibility, working hours that suit. Virtual internships particularly relevant in these uncertain times as they enable students and graduates to gain invaluable work experience, boost the CV in spite of coronavirus restrictions. They also support the local economy, keeping productivity high. You can gain valuable experience, learn off mentors or colleagues that you'll be interacting with, and obviously gain a wage from it as well.
I've been very strict in muting my work emails and Slack notifications after 6 p.m. to give myself a break. Now a colleague who sends work emails late in the evening and always replies to messages just got praised for her dedication. I feel like I'm being penalised by trying to switch off. Should I try harder?
Nikki Shamsi, Senior Workforce Development Practitioner, Knowsley Council. You should feel pleased with yourself that you're managing your work-life balance and your time. It's something to be very proud of. Whilst being responsive is important, it's important that it's also not at the expense of your well-being. So maybe it's time to bring the matter up of self-care and have a discussion at your next team meeting. That might help you to share your feelings, and you can bet that there are other people who are feeling the same way too, and who are quite grateful for you to bring up the matter.
A colleague accidentally replied all on a work email and said something about me that really hurt my feelings and has undermined my confidence in meetings. I still don't think she knows that I saw it. I want to just brush it off, but it's really affecting my ability to put forward ideas. What should I do?
Liz Dean, Liverpool City Region's Combined Authority Director of Corporate Development and Delivery. The quote that comes to mind is, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." That was said by Eleanor Roosevelt. And really, to me, it's about taking control of the situation. I'd suggest have a conversation with the person. Do it in a non-confrontational way, but make sure that she knows that you've seen it, and if appropriate, how it's made you feel. I'd focus more, though, on tackling how you can put forward your ideas in meetings. If you've got a good relationship with your boss, speak to them and see if they can create opportunities to bring you in. And then do the prep for the meetings so you know what you're going to say and how you're going to say it. Good luck.
My name's Rachel Parks and I'm from the University of Liverpool. I work as Head of Project and Programme Management within the Strategic Change Department. Firstly, having an email that shows someone has said something horrible about you is not a nice thing to happen, but it can. My policy and work is to make sure that you only ever put in emails what you would say to someone in person, and that's a good rule of thumb to make sure that you don't end up inadvertently hurting someone's feelings. If this has happened to you, then my suggestion would be that you speak to the person who sent the email. You don't need to do that in a confrontational way. I'd suggest you do it in private, but give them the opportunity to explain what they've said and what they meant by that. Sometimes just understanding where someone's coming from can help improve a situation. Another way that I'd suggest dealing with that situation is to try out new ways of working and try to show people the skills and the personality that you have on offer so that you can build your confidence back up. So if they've been copied into the email and you're worried about how they now might perceive you, then take the opportunity to be confident, be yourself, and show people what you're made of.
We're having a virtual Christmas party this year over Zoom with a Britain's Got Talent theme. I can't tell you how much I do not want to do this. It's really starting to worry me.
Steve Stewart, Community Engagement Manager for Census 2021. Christmas parties this year are going to be extremely different from previous years. It looks like many offices will go for that kind of Britain's Got Talent theme where people will display their talents. It's not like everybody's cup of tea, of course, but it's important, I think, for people still to maintain some kind of involvement itself. Now, your role might well be the person who compiled sets of questions for a Christmas quiz, or you might be the person who organises a Just Giving page if people are prepared to donate money and that money being given to food banks or to worthy charities nearby. Stay involved, but it doesn't have to be someone who's in front of the camera. It could well be a role that's behind the camera, supporting the work that's to be done. Anyway, whatever happens, have a great Christmas and a very happy New Year.
Thanks so much to every single person who took time to get in touch with their advice and experience, and of course to you for asking the questions. If you would like some help or advice with any challenges you're experiencing in work, education or home life, then just record your question on your phone and email it to us at hello@northernpowerfutures.com and you could be featured on a future episode. We'd love to hear from you on social media too. You can find us on Instagram at Northern Power Futures or Twitter at MP_Futures. You can also visit our website at northernpowerfutures.com. The Northern Power Futures podcast is a What Goes On media production. See you soon.